Don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. Tap the notification bell and be the first to know when we drop a new video. Like and share with your fellow American patriots who love this country. And if you haven't even an American patriot, you're someone who believe and love freedom, love democracy, truth, and don't like corruption, hit the subscription button.
Are very helpful, and they really stick with me. I'll show you what I mean. Here's the headline in the Wall Street Journal. The headline is, anxious trading partners promise to buy American to stave off Trump's tariffs. And you've seen a million articles like this, right? The bulk of the article under that headline is about what you would expect. Again, you've seen a lot like this. It's about various countries trying to strike deals with the U.S. so they can get themselves some relief, some favored treatment from Trump amid his gigantic, catastrophic world tariff experiment. So the countries are trying to get themselves some kind of relief, and among those discussed in this article is the nation of Vietnam. According to the Wall Street Journal, Vietnam has been trying to fend off harsh treatment under Trump's tariffs by, number one, buying American jets. Number two, allowing the Starlink internet service that's owned by Donald Trump's top campaign donor, Elon Musk, to operate inside their country. Weird that they decided that was a good idea. And number three, here's the kicker, Vietnam has also, quote, decided to accelerate the approvals for a $1.5 billion Trump resort in Vietnam. Oh, weird how that might get you better treatment from the U.S. government. I mean, I'm sure Vietnam has lots of good reasons to make sure a Trump Organization resort project is moving forward. Lots and lots and lots of them. It's weird that they think that might be correlated with the U.S. government giving them some sort of favorable treatment. But let's just stick a pin in that one for a second. There's another story I want to tell you. And I will tell you, even though I'm going to use the word cryptocurrency in telling you this story, don't worry, you don't have to understand anything about cryptocurrency in order to get this story. But here it is. A couple of years ago, the Justice Department accused an online cryptocurrency company that's called Binance of being basically a supermarket for crime. DOJ accused Binance of being a giant money laundering hub for terrorists and cyber criminals and customers in sanctioned countries like Iran and Russia. Binance pled guilty. They paid over $4 billion. That was the largest fine ever in the history of crypto. Its founder spent 4 months in prison. Ever since, Binance has been overseen by U.S. government-appointed monitors who ensure that Binance is no longer a supermarket for crime. It is now following the law and making sure Binance is only operating overseas and not operating in the United States at all. Now, Binance, naturally, they would very much like to get out from under that oversight, and they would very much like to operate in the United States again. But to do that, they need to get these pesky government monitors off their back. They need the U.S. government to decide they are out of the doghouse. And it would make their return easier, of course, if their founder were no longer a convicted felon. Well, when Donald Trump won the election last year, Binance sensed opportunity. This is also from the Wall Street Journal, quote, at an Abu Dhabi crypto conference last December, weeks before the inauguration, in the Wales-only back room accessible to attendees who had paid $10,000 for a VIP pass, Binance's founder mingled with Trump's sons. Their founder were no longer a convicted felon. Well, when Donald Trump won the election last year, Binance sensed opportunity. This is also from the Wall Street Journal, quote, at an Abu Dhabi crypto conference last December, weeks before the inauguration, in the Wales-only back room accessible to attendees who had paid $10,000 for a VIP pass, Binance's founder mingled with Trump's sons. Trump's son Eric and Trump allies. Eric was there to promote World Liberty, a crypto venture the Trump family had founded months earlier. For World Liberty, Binance's market power could help turn it into a serious player in the crypto industry. Binance has more than 250 million users. The more World Liberty cryptocurrency in circulation, of course, quote, the more the Trump family could profit. Again, ignore the word, like, cryptocurrency. This could be anything. I mean, say the Trump family had launched a new company that makes doohickeys. Well, Binance, if they partnered with the Trump family in this enterprise, they could get Trump doohickeys in front of hundreds of millions of potential customers, which would, of course, mean lots of profit for the Trump family. That is what Binance is offering to the Trump family. What does Binance want? Well, their convicted felon founder, quote, has been pushing for a Trump administration pardon. Has been pushing for the Trump administration to grant him a pardon. And the Wall Street Journal reports, quote, executives from Binance met with Treasury Department officials last month and discussed loosening U.S. government oversight on the company. Quote, Binance executives are optimistic the Trump administration will acquiesce. Oh, yeah. Oh, are they? Maybe that's because as president, Donald Trump has already pardoned a whole slew of crypto felons, and his Justice Department has just disbanded its crypto policing unit. And also because Trump's SEC halted an investigation of another crypto executive after that executive dumped $75 million into the Trump family crypto company. So if the Wall Street Journal's reporting on this bears out, this is not even like This isn't even like textbook corruption, because you would not need to get to the level of school that uses textbooks in order to get to this level of understanding of corruption. This is like a coloring book of corruption. This is like corruption that you could understand if you'd never been to any school ever, anywhere. In any other time in American history, this scandal, 1/10 of this scandal, would be the end of a presidency. But this is just like day that ends in Y. This is our life now.
Yeah, so, whether or not you want to believe it, if you elect a corrupt leader, you are not just putting one dishonest person into power. You are opening the floodgates to an entire administration built on deceit, exploitation, and criminality. And I've stated before, and I'll say again, you will never find an honest criminal. It doesn't matter how high the criminal is. But you have to understand, when you come on to white supremacy, that's how it is, White supremacy is built on lies, criminality, and all of that, whether or not you want to believe it. When you're talking about honesty, decent, ethical morality, black people are the epitome of that, when you look at it. So when you're talking about everything that's going immoral, just look to one race of people. They are the epitome of it. Not all of them, Don't think that we're putting the people in a box. We're just telling you how it is because it's history. Yes, and although they don't want people to talk about history, and because it's a painful thing happening in the past, we know who are the original terrorists, who are the original thieves, who are the original murderers, who are the original rapists, who are the original conquerors and imperialists and colonialists. A corrupt individual at the top will never surround themselves with people of integrity. Why would they? Honest people would challenge their unethical decisions, expose their backroom deals, and resist being used as pawns in a game of national betrayal. So what do? They install a cabal of equally corrupt individuals, people who are loyal, not to the Constitution, not to the people, but to the corrupt machinery itself. Every appointment becomes a reward for silence. Every ministry, every department, a money laundering operation. Every government contract becomes a kickback. Every institution is weaponized to protect the criminals in office and to punish anyone who dares speak the truth. Electing a corrupt person is like hiring a termite to guard your wooden house. Not only will they gnaw through the foundation, but they will invite all their termite friends to come and feast as well, until nothing is left but hollow walls and broken dreams, and everything just crumble. So let's be clear. When you vote for corruption, you are not voting for change. You are voting for a collapse. You are endorsing a system where lies replace laws, thieves where suits and justice is auctioned off to the highest bidder. And once that rot sets in, removing it is not easy. It buries itself into every corner of governance, from the justice system to the education department, from the police force to public health. It becomes a network of predators feeding on the nation's resources while blaming the victims for starving. That's why elections matters. Characters matters. Integrity matters. Morality matters. Truth matters. Because when you elect a corrupt leader, you are not just choosing your present, you are destroying your current future. So we are living in an era in America where corruption is not only at an all-time high, it is being paraded as patriotism. The very foundation of the republic is being eroded, not quietly, but in broad daylight, and it's being normalized, celebrated even by the Republican Party. This is no longer politics as usual. This is a coordinated assault on the Constitution of the United States of America. These individuals do not care about checks and balance. They do not care about the rule of law. And they certainly do not care about the oath they swore to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Because now, they are the domestic enemies. Let's speak plainly. If Barack Obama, we are not a fan of Obama, you know, because Obama never do anything for black people or American people. The only people that Obama did things for are the people them who do not know the difference between a man and a woman. That's all him do, and that's all Obama promoted was immorality. I know say some liberal, but look here. That's how I think in this world. People don't like when people tell them the truth. Yes, Obama never do anything for American people. All Obama did was to use the office, use the courts, and them champion this thing and them dismantle all of the good thing, don't ask, don't tell, and normalize something that's immoral and go against the laws of nature and God. And that's why we have a Donald Trump, because with you starting to use dictatorship and use the courts to pass law, say yes, two men can married, how you call it, husband and husband, and then they want to tell them want to change all birth certificate. That's how we get a Donald Trump. If the Democrats, them never with the madness and all of these things, and them still up to it in 2025, and them do not realize that the American people do not want it because it's madness. You cannot, a man, a big long cocky or a long seed or a long penis man, to use bathroom with a man, wife and him daughter. And you gotta say that's normal. That's a madness. And them still, them not realize that that's the reason why them keep losing the election. And them still not abandon this kind of madness. It's from a socialist, imperialist indoctrination where you want people to ignore them conscience. You can't do that. Normal, anything that you're doing, if you love science, you only choose with science you love. You're supposed to love all science. And that's our problem. That's why we have a Donald Trump. And if the Democrats don't change them act, then you're going to have another Donald Trump. See him here. Because once I tell people all of these madness, people not going to bite, especially people who can think. So that's how it go. If Barack Obama had done even 1/4 of what this man has done, the lies, the obstruction, the incitement, the grifting, the criminal indictments, the undermining of national security, he wouldn't just be impeached, he would be behind bars, or, as some of these same Republicans love to say, before a firing squad. But hypocrisy is the meal of the day. They swore allegiance to, not to the country, but to one man. They genuflect to his ego, excuse his crimes, and treat his words as gospel, while trampling on the sacred institution that once held America together. So here's the question every decent American must ask. What does it take for one person, just one person, to stand up, not for a party, not for a seat, not for a re-election, but for the Constitution of the United States of America? What does it take to put country over cults, law over loyalty, and truth over tribalism? America cannot survive much longer on this current path. A republic cannot breathe when its lungs are filled with lies. A democracy cannot stand when its defenders sit in silence. We need patriots, not puppets. We need leaders, not lapdogs. We need citizens who understand that freedom without responsibility becomes anarchy. If one stands up, then let's history record that fall. Because if America fail, this American experiment wasn't of an outside enemy, but because of cowardice from within. Because too many were more loyal to a con man than to the Constitution. I myself, I look here. I can tell you this, that based on what I have seen, most of the people that gravitate to Donald Trump, they themselves have a criminal mind. I've never met an honest liar in my life, nor an honest con man. So I don't know how these people do it. But hey, racism is paramount to these people. Have yourself a beautiful day. Peace.